Hey guys and girls, Therapy Sorn here, and today I have another episode of Squat's Prestige, only this time it's Domination on Sobering, and I forget what class I'm using. Sorry, I do tend to forget these things, and please forgive me. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue off where we left off last episode with my I Was Bullied story, and basically where we left off, I believe, was I was about to tell you guys what kind of things she did to me, what kind of bullying, like physical, mental, psychological things she did to me. And one of the things that she did quite often was to kick me out of the classroom. And she didn't even care if she was in the middle of class, if I was doing work or not. She just kicked me out for no reason most of the times. And she either just make me sit outside or go to another room and just basically work off there. And I remember this one time where we were doing this one activity. She told me to go to this one other room and to do the work there, and I was like, well, this sucks, but oh well. So I went to the other room and I just started doing my work and all that, and it was actually pretty okay because I was by myself and I really didn't need to worry about anyone. And it was towards the end of the day, so I just did my work the last 5 minutes. I went and got a check. I went to the classroom because she told me to go back to the classroom once I had finished. And so I went there, and she told me that I was welcome to stay again in the classroom since the day was about to end. And I was like, nah, I'm fine where I am. I'll see you tomorrow. And I left the classroom, and I went to the room that she told me to go to, and I just waited there until my mom got there to pick me up. And I felt like a badass that day because she was honestly trying to convince me to stay in the classroom. But I was all like, fuck it, I'm staying in the room. You told me to go to the room, I'm staying in that room. And that's one of the things she did. Sometimes she would just kick me out of the classroom, and it was depending on if it was summer or winter. If it was summer, she'd make me sit in the fucking sun. And then if it was winter, she'd make me sit in the shade and just, freeze my ass to death. Because it's cold as balls here in Mexico in winter. Well, at least where I'm at. It's really cold as balls, and it was just horrible because during the summertime, I remember one of the times she actually took me out of the class and made me sit in the sun. I don't know, I almost fainted. Well, I felt like really, really close to fainting. And I remember she just walked out of the classroom and glared at me, and then she laughed and just continued walking. I was like, that bitch. And that really did piss me off. That was, I would say, the worst thing that she did. Oh, and this one time as well, she made me move some boxes or something out of her office, and she started blaming me that I had farted in her fucking office. And she even took me in there and started screaming at me and said, "Can you smell that? It smells like shit in here." I'm like, bitch, you have 3 of those automatic air refresheners. How do you want me to smell anything that isn't fucking flowers and roses and peach cobbler and shit? But, this was actually towards the end of the school year, and I to this point, I really didn't give a shit about anything that she did to me, or anything that she did, but she even took me out in front into, the offices, and started screaming at me, and everybody was just looking at me, and I didn't say anything. I just kind of stood there and let her finish, because I knew I hadn't done any of that. Hell, there was 2 other kids that actually went into her office and couldn't smell anything, and she just continued screaming at me, claiming that I had farted in there. And I didn't give a rat's ass, because honestly, first of all, it didn't smell like anything, and I was quite glad because the school year was coming to an end. But I really didn't start giving a shit until the end of the year. That's when I truly went into I don't give a fuck mode. Because towards the beginning of the year, it was total hell. There was this one time where we had to be doing this one activity, this one classwork, in a team, and it was like a team of 5 or so. And I was gluing this one paper to my notebook, and I was using this other guy's glue stick, which, by the way, this guy fucking hated me. He was one of the kids that really fucking hated me. And he just told me to give him his glue stick. I'm like, whoa, chill, man. Just give me a sec. I'm almost done here. And before I could, like, finish gluing it on and all that, he fucking hits me in the back of my head. And now what really pissed me off was that the teacher was right next to him and she acted like she hadn't seen him. And I actually cried a little bit because he did hit me pretty hard. And I cried a little, but, I quickly saw it because I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that he hurt me, that I was, basically the school clown and all that. So I cried, but I cried a little bit. And basically, this is the kind of suffering, torment that I had to withstand the whole year, was just constant getting screamed at by everyone, knowing that I was a school clown, that anybody could say anything to me and I wasn't going to say anything back. And in all honesty, it felt horrible because I knew I couldn't rely on anyone, because I couldn't even go to a teacher because fucking teachers were even doing it. They were even bullying me. And this all really did piss me off because it was a religious school. Now, I get that it's private school and everybody's a bunch of preppy fuckers that, treat anybody how they want and because they think they can, just because they have money and power and all that. And I'm not like that. I went to that school because my mom put me in there, but I wasn't anything like them. I wasn't a rich preppy fucker like them. I didn't treat anybody else like they treated me, which is kind of good thing I liked about it, because I never actually bullied anyone in that school. But I ain't no saint either. I acknowledge and I am terribly regretted, but I have bullied someone before, like, and I believe there was this one kid in elementary school. I bullied him, and there was this other kid in middle school, and honestly, it made me feel like shit because first I bullied the kid in elementary, then I got bullied, and then I bullied again in middle school, and that's just horrible because it's just a vicious cycle. And I understand that I did it because I felt like, I felt that I needed to take it out on somebody else. Like, if they did this to me, then I had to do it to someone else. But thankfully I figured the errors of my ways, and I'm truly just, regretted that I did this to these people. Now, I haven't seen these people in many, many years, but I'm pretty sure that if I ever saw them again, the first words out of my mouth would be, I'm sorry. Because, it's horrible. Bullying is horrible. It's a horrible thing. And honestly, it should be, treated. It should be handled the way it should, not just raise awareness, as they do with many what's called propaganda and all that, where they just raise awareness and not actually combat it. They just, say, if you ever get bullied, go to a parent. But no kid ever does, and that's a bad thing, because, if you're getting bullied, I seriously recommend just going to your parents and telling them everything. Or just go to your best friend and tell them something, or go to anybody that you can trust and just tell them. Because I didn't tell my parents about this until I was in high school, my first year of high school. Now, this happened in 6th grade. That was a whole 5 years where I just kept it in me and I didn't tell him jack shit. And it felt horrible. It ate me up daily because I couldn't talk to anyone. I felt so powerless. And, I thought about suicide. I'm not gonna lie. The whole year of 6th grade, I thought about suicide on a daily basis. I was 10 years old, and I already knew that I wanted to die, and I thought of many, many ways I could kill myself. Every day was like, I could kill myself doing this, I could kill myself doing that. And why? Because I didn't have the force to talk to anybody, because I didn't have the guts to talk to my parents or talk to somebody I trusted, because I was scared. And that's what everybody that gets bullied needs to get rid of: fear. Don't be scared. Just talk to anyone. Talk to somebody you trust. Just talk it out. Don't bully anybody else. Don't kill yourself, for the love of God. Don't kill yourself. Killing yourself is not the answer. Believe me, it gets a shit ton better. Because after all of this, I discovered YouTube, and I've been doing it ever since, and I couldn't be any more happier. Honestly, making these videos, it makes me happy. It's something I really, really enjoy, and that's something you guys need to do. If you get bullied, and unless you get physically bullied, then you should talk to a parent and all that, so you can get that out of the way. Talk to your counselor, a school counselor, talk to your principal even, unless you get bullied like me by your school. But either way, just talk to your parents. But if you get psychologically bullied, don't let that affect you. If you get cyberbullied, just don't pay attention. If you get psychologically bullied, which this happened to me a little bit back after this whole 6th grade incident, I discovered that if I simply don't pay attention to whoever is doing this, to like doing harm to me through words and psychological torment, if I just focus on doing whatever I like, which in this case is making videos and playing video games, then I will find my life is a lot better, and I am a lot happier than if I would be if I listened to these guys. And that's another thing. Don't listen to them. If they bully you, and if they bully you, just don't pay attention. Just be the bigger man, and just don't pay attention. If they tell you that you're gay and that you shouldn't have been born, don't listen to them. Just carry on, live your life however you want to live it. Just don't focus on people like this, because no matter what, there's always going to be people that push you down and they always want to harm you. And the only solution is to really just not pay attention to them and to only do what you like. So if I had any advice, it would be, unless you get physically bullied, and which if you do, talk to your parents or talk to somebody you can trust and somebody you know that'll help you. And if you get verbally or cyberbullied, just don't pay attention. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys liked this 2-parter. Please like the video, leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time.